Good morning. If you're watching this any other time that's not morning, stop. Go back to sleep or whatever, and then wake up the next morning and then watch it. Ha. Welcome to week 3 of session 4. You can see that I have the email that I'm sending out on Monday because I'm home and I'm not so hot. I'm kind of sick, but I'll be better tomorrow. So read the email, okay? And in here, basically check your task checklist for your team in your team folder. Make sure your organizer goes to the class box, the clear box on the left side of the room. Get your team folder and go through your checklist on what you need to do for today. But also take a look at what you want to do for the week. So in the email, it also said copy and paste the journal for this week. Set your goal right away on Monday. That's due Monday. And then do your reflective stuff from what you did for best practices before the end of class on Monday. That's, again, all the stuff in the email. And I put the directions in on what you should do for your blog post. Okay, there it is. So now let's take a look at the next thing. So obviously the journal, you've done the process before. We're keeping it the same this week. I'm going to talk to you about an alternative way to do this. That'll be due on Friday, but we haven't talked about that yet. So a way to improve the class, I want to modify this a little bit to make it less stressful maybe for you on a day-to-day basis based on input I got from other students. In your team folder, if you're, again, wondering what's going on, we should be done with pre-production. You're now moving into production. If you're not done with pre-production tasks, that's a priority. Get that stuff done, then go into production. Okay, so that's in your team folder as always. The checklists. So in game design, again, what are you supposed to be doing depending on your job? Be checking these things off each day. So I want you to go over this. This is, instead of Trello, we're using this process. In film, you have a similar document. You're checking stuff off for your job as you're doing things. As a team, please go through this. Producer, if you can make sure that this is happening. Scrum Master, this is your job now to make sure these are checked off. And in Rock, you have a slightly different approach. Depending on what you're working on, you may have got this checklist, or you may have received this one. Essentially, I want you to check off or cross out each step as you do it, okay? We're just tracking process, and I will talk to you tomorrow or Wednesday to check in with you to see where you are in each step, and I need you to show me evidence, okay? The big theme in session 4 is evidence, 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 evidence. Do you have proof that you actually did something and that you learned something, that you can show me the standard you're working toward, et cetera, et cetera? Okay. And last but not least, because you love it, the big giant spreadsheet. So in the project tracking sheet, you'll see that we are now in Scrum number 1. It's a 15-day session to work on these things. You're going to use a paper checklist that I just showed you digitally here. You have it in your folder. I'm just going to check in with you to see if you're doing that stuff. Your weekly journal, you have your goal set today. That is due today. Ooh, here, let's turn this black. Why? Because I like that. Let's go here, there. And you don't have to do anything with this, but if you did not finish, you can see in my first period class, a bunch of people did not finish pre-production tasks, or they're not checked off here. That is the priority. Then you move into production. Okay, welcome to the week. Have a great day.